5 years ago, I left the city to care for 50 acres of tropical fruit orchards. This valley was formed by a volcanic eruption, the soils are fertile and the climate is subtropical, so all year round we can grow a huge variety of food, and every day we pick our breakfast straight from the tree. Our grandfather grew up in Indonesia, and actually most of his childhood he spent in the famously brutal World War II prisoner of war camps run by Japanese military in Indonesia. Many people died of starvation, and he told the story that when he and his fellow prisoners were weak and starving, that they could see bright tropical fruits growing just past the fences, just out of reach. Indonesian locals would risk their lives and pass fruit through the fences. When he survived and eventually found his way to this patch of land, he spent his life planting thousands of fruit trees. He often told the story of watching fruit trees grow while he starved and how he planted these trees so that no one would ever go hungry again. He planted them in public spaces and roadsides, and to this day, grand fruit trees grow all over this area. Every time I eat fruit from the trees that he planted, I remember his story, and I realize just how lucky I am. I received these gifts from him that seem to transcend time. This orchard of fruit has to be one of the most magical orchards in the world. There's so many of these bright pink jambu air, and they taste delicious. They taste kind of like a watermelon. I don't know how else to describe it. Receiving the food, the joy, and the nourishment from the land, I also feel the need to give back. So in stewarding the land, I nurture these trees and soil and mountains just as they nurture me. Each season brings a new flavour, and now in our humid summer, the sweet fruits like jambu, mangoes and lychees and so many others are growing abundant in the forest. When our grandparents moved here, the land was degraded and overfarmed, but in just 60 years, they slowly turned it into a utopia. The north-facing slopes are home to tropical fruits because they catch sun throughout the whole day, every season. And in the southern slopes, our parents and grandparents have helped the native rainforest to restore. Our opa always talked about one mango tree that ripens first, and I had it misunderstood. I thought it was a mango tree up there. But this mango has a ripe mango on it, which is wild. Mangoes never ripen on the tree, you always pick them and then they ripen, but there's a few of them. I'm so excited! Mango season is my absolute favourite time of year. There's nothing better than a mango. It's my favourite fruit in the world. I think it's my favourite food in the world. Gotta get the sap off because it will stain and it will make it, as it ripens, rot in the wrong places. It's not completely ripe, but it's close. That one's almost ready to eat. There are more than 20 avocado trees and over 50 mango trees and thousands of different varieties of fruit all over the farm. Oh, that's the most beautiful mango I've ever seen or smelt or felt. I'm so excited. You can spot a few mangoes in the tree that the flying foxes have already come and started to eat, so I think I need to pick most of them today. And that's just one tree. We have over 50 mango trees, and this one is just the first of fruit. Our grandfather loved the rare fruits of his childhood in Indonesia, so when he moved here, he made sure to plant all of his favourites. He tried to plant everything. He worked as a nurseryman, selling fruit trees to others, so he'd travel all up the east coast of Australia to collect seeds and seedlings and grafts. And he tried to grow every tropical fruit available. Some didn't work, like durian or purple mangosteen, but so many did work, and today we're still fed by the meaning of his actions so many years ago. Got it! That's my technique where I don't pull on this, which cuts the stem, but if you just shake it for long enough, it should come out if it's ready to go. The jackfruits are still small. We should get a lot more rain. Oh, there's so many black cockatoos flying over. When the rain comes, they're going to fill out a lot more. It's been not that rainy this year, which is why we have so many mangoes. And it's been rainy enough to keep the farm happy and no drought, and all of the trees are going well, but the jackfruit especially needs a lot of rain to fill out. So probably in, I don't know, late February, maybe March, April, it'll start getting bigger. So we have probably like over 7 different varieties of mango on the farm. There's so many different ones. So I think, I always get it wrong because they're all so confusing, but I think these ones are Kensington Prides because they're long and skinny and have kind of a pointy end. But then there's Namdok Mais, which are really pointy on the ends, and they're from Thailand, I think especially, or Southeast Asia, and they can be used green. So I should pick some of those and have them in a salad. And then we've also got Kensington Prides, we've got Bowen, we've got so many mangoes, I lose count. There's even banana mangoes on the farm, which are really long and skinny, and they kind of look like a banana, but they're a mango, and they kind of have a taste that's a bit different. Hi! Hello! How's my special girl? How's Aphrodite? Hi, you two are always arguing with cats. You gotta let me pat your brother as well. Lanky boy is 7, almost 8 years old, and that means Black Sapote is 8, almost 9 years old. And these guys were born last good mango season in the big drought, weren't you? They've been little puppies since they were babies. They love pats and they get very competitive. You won. You got more pats. They are self-shedding sheep, so that's why they have these dags of wool coming off. And they, in the summertime, they lose their wool. Lanky boy's not that good at losing his wool. You and your sister, you're not that great at it. But yeah, they lose all their wool and it goes back to a short coat, and then it just falls off. But it means you can't really use it for like spinning and things like that because it's not the same filaments. Hi. Can I get you fur off? Oh, buddy, buddy. Oh. I feel like you could use that for something, but I don't know what. I may have lied about mangoes being my favourite fruit because lychees come a close second, or maybe they are my favourite fruit. They are so yummy, they're so juicy, and one of these trees, I forget which one, produces a lot of tiny little chicken tongue seeds, we call them, because they look like a chicken tongue, and so they're really tiny seeds, so then they're mostly flesh, and they're so yummy. Oh, I can't believe there's so many lychees on this year. To pluck this straight off the tree and then just eat this incredible flesh. There's nothing more beautiful in the world. Look at that! It's a chicken tongue! It's got a tiny seed. Oh, yum! You want this? You want that? Yum! The sheep run to every single fruit tree on the farm and they check for fallen fruit because that's their favourite treat in the world, especially lychees, hey? And mangoes, actually. Aphrodite's favourite fruit is mango, I think. They love them. And it's great because it stops the fruit flies from seeing all of the rotten fruit and smelling it and clustering there and then eating the fruit on the trees as well, so it's very good. It's a good job. You need a haircut. Beautiful. Yeah, you're still so shy. These, they are my favourite thing in the world. I think that this is a banana mango. You can see it's really long and skinny, and so when it ripens it'll turn like a yellow like a banana as well. There's only a few others on the tree. They don't look like they went that well, but I haven't seen this tree fruit in years, so it's really exciting. I think this might be our only banana mango tree. The star fruits are even early this year. They normally come on in later in autumn, but they're almost ripe in the middle of summer. These are Malay apple and they're in the same family as jambu air, but these come on a little bit later. They should fill out really quickly just with a bit of rain. So we've been getting rain most nights at the moment, so I reckon they'll be ready in no time. They have a bit more flavour than a jambu air, but they're less juicy maybe? This is the Gular fig, which is also known as a cluster fig, and they're these big figs that grow straight off the trunk of these trees. It's so cool. This is a bottle gourd or lauki, or it has lots of different names, and it's a big kind of zucchini-like gourd thing, and you can do lots with it. It's called a bottle gourd because you can make water bottles from it or containers, and it's often used as like ways to transport things, which is so cool, and I'd love to do that. But also I might make a bowl out of one if I just cut it off and then dry it. I love the shape of this one. They all grow in different shapes depending on where they kind of form. This one forms inside of this rock wall, so it's actually stuck. The avocados are all still forming, but they'll be ready in autumn or winter, mostly winter. I'm so excited. Avocado season is my other favorite season. Mango season and avocado season, they're both the best. This tree is actually one of the last to ripen. It normally ripens in November, so it's still a long way off these ones being ripe, even though they're already quite big. But they just take a long time to form. But we've got other trees on the farm that are, normally the earliest one is about April. So many. Starfruit is also known as carambola, and they're sweet and tangy, and I don't know how else to describe them. Kind of sour at the same time as really sweet. Ah! So close! So close! I got it! Yay! This orange tree was maybe my favorite orange tree. I have a few favorite orange trees, but in the cyclone, another tree fell on it, the papaya tree that was up the bridge from it, and it fell down on it and completely stripped it of all of its branches. But there are new shoots coming up and it's above the grass, so it should be good. It should be more oranges one day. I don't think we'll get oranges this year, but we've got plenty of other orange trees for that. And hopefully this tree will survive. This was another tree that we lost in the cyclone and it completely just fell over, but its roots were still intact, so it's actually continued to survive. So we cut it back with the help from our brother, and hey white cockatoos! And it started to reshoot and it's got tiny fruits on it for next year. This year it only had a few fruit and the goats managed to reach all of them, so we didn't get any this year because it's still so small, so the goats can kind of climb up and eat them all. But next year I think it'll be taller now. Hi! What are you doing? Sneaky?
This is a bunya nut, and this just falls off the bunya pine tree, which are these really tall trees in the rainforest, and these nuts are massive, so I'm always really scared of one hitting me, and it's a real fear. You shouldn't hang out underneath a bunya pine, but you can eat these, and they have little nuts inside them, inside each segment. It's kind of like a pine nut, and it's just a massive version of that. So it also tastes kind of like a pine nut, and they're really delicious. You can make bread from them, or put them in curries, or do whatever you want, and I'm excited because I haven't had one in a few years. They're kind of rare, and they fruit every, I think, 3 or 4 years. They have a heavy fruiting season, and then they'll drop heaps of big pine cones, and then won't do it that much for the next few years. So we only got one this year, but I'm excited. And they're technically not a pine tree, even though they're really similar and they look like it, and they were named a bunya pine, but they're not actually a pine. They're just something kind of similar. They're culturally significant for many Indigenous people across Australia, and you can make flowers and lots of things out of them, which is so cool. There used to be a massive papaya tree here, and that was the one that fell in the cyclone and it squished the orange tree. And it was very sad because it was a really nice papaya tree. But this one has started growing in its place. It must have dropped some seeds, and I didn't know if it was going to fruit because some papayas are non-fruiting and some do fruit. But it's got tiny fruit on it, so it's a miracle. The papaya is back.